Hello YouTube, my name's Nero and today we have some Call of Duty Advanced Warfare and another episode of DNA Saturday, which is the weekly series here on my channel where subscribers send me in DNA bombs. That was the crate class we're going to be using throughout the entirety of this gameplay. If you would like, of course, you can go back and pause the video, that way you can get a good look at the class, but keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I will be talking about the class periodically throughout this video because I know you. Right? I know you. I know all of you. Because I was in the same boat. I used to do the same thing all the time whenever I watch YouTube video. Whenever somebody would accidentally peek at their career class and change classes, I would pause the video and just stare at their classes like, so that's how they run their classes, you know, because it's just interesting, right? It's interesting to see how other people do stuff. And when you see them do ridiculously good in the gameplay, you're sitting there thinking to yourself, well, maybe if I were to run around with that same class, maybe I could replicate some of that success, right? That's what people are thinking. So we talk about the class when the time gets to it, but right now we're going to be talking about the M1 Irons. Right now we're going to be talking about the player that sent in this DNA bomb and just this awesome gameplay in general. So first and foremost, this gameplay was sent in by a guy that goes by the name of Mr. Omega Gaming, and you can find his YouTube channel by the link in the video description, and we'll talk about his channel, of course, at the end of the video as well. But he has got for us a very nice gameplay using the brand new weapons, the M1 Iron Akimbos, which of course are a fantastic weapon here in Advanced Warfare. Free DLC, I don't think you can ever argue with that. I found in Call of Duty that I usually love DLC weapons, going back to Black Ops 2 with the Peacekeeper, or the Maverick and the Ripper from COD Ghost, or even like the 84 OHM, or any of them, right? I love DLC weapons because it adds a new gun to the game, and gunplay is such a big thing in Call of Duty that the game can kind of get stale if you get bored of the weapons, so you end up trying out new ones. So when they add a new gun to the game, it's just a blast to run around and play with it, and so it's definitely cool that it came out as a free weapon. I'm definitely enjoying that. It's pretty cool to see DNA bomb gameplay with it so early, man. I actually had a DNA bomb submitted with the M1 Irons last week, but it was kind of sketchy, right? Because I'm not going to name the player or anything, but the player had sent it in. He ended up killing an AFK player, quote-unquote AFK player on the other team 10 plus times in that DNA bomb, but the player wasn't even truly AFK. He was just spinning around in circles looking at the ground. It was really, really weird. It looked sketchy, and chances are, if there's one thing I've learned about DNA Saturday, if it looks sketchy, chances are it is sketchy, so I just didn't even decide to use it. But this one, I've looked over it a couple times, looks completely legit to me, looks definitely awesome, and of course, Mr. Omega Gaming, who is the player that sent in this DNA bomb, has been featured before, and I trust him. I think he's got a pretty good YouTube channel, and we'll be talking about that, of course, here towards the end of the video. But regardless, man, it's a very good gameplay, so hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Once again, playing a bit of Uplink. It's kind of cool to see Uplink now and again, because we usually end up seeing nothing but domination here on DNA Saturday, so we're playing Uplink here on the map Biolab, and as a result, we are going to be seeing a very fast-paced, very action-packed DNA bomb using Akimbo pistols, man. How can we argue with that? Akimbo pistols, it's pretty cool. So let's start talking about the career class of this particular gameplay, because the career class is fundamentally different than the class I recommended to you guys for the M1 Irons, but I still got some good things to say about it, and it definitely makes sense. So let's talk about it. First and foremost, the weapon, M1 Irons, right? There's no particular variance to this whatsoever. It is your standard M1 Irons. There's nothing confusing about it. There's no special variants or anything like that. It's just a standard M1 Irons with 2 attachments. Those attachments are going to be Akimbo, as well as advanced rifling. No, ladies and gentlemen, there are no laser sights in this class, which is weird to me, because I really think laser sight and Akimbo and advanced rifling is the way to go, but still, you can't argue with success, man. You see the gameplay, you can't argue with success. So those are the attachments he's using. In terms of perks, perk 1, low profile. Standard perk, everybody seems to have it on everything. Perk 2, not going with blind eye, but going with 2 perks actually work very well, specifically with the M1 Irons as well as the Akimbo SAC 3s, right? These perks are going to be Fast Hands as well as Gung Ho. Fast Hands, what does it do? Generally, people don't use Fast Hands. It's going to allow you to do things like reload on the run, right? It's going to allow you to swap your weapons a little bit faster. It's going to just make you feel like a faster player in general, which is definitely helpful. And then Gung Ho, of course, makes it so you can fire while sprinting. And you'll notice throughout the entirety of the gameplay, because of these 2 perks, he has the ability to shoot, reload, do whatever on the run with always having his weapons up and ready to fire, of course, except when both of them are reloading, right? So he's got himself good perks here to actually use this gun specifically, and it works out pretty well. I still recommend the class I recommended in my video, but this is an alternative way that you can run the M1 Irons, and it works out pretty well. You look how tight the hipfire spread is. He's using, once again, no laser sight on here. He's not using any variants or anything like that. He's just basically running around with Gung Ho and Fast Hands, and the hipfire spread is pretty good regardless, right? So he still does pretty good in this gameplay. So hopefully you guys can try out this career class. Hopefully you tried out my class as well, but I feel as though they're both pretty good in their own respect. They're just a little bit different in terms of the perks. But perk 3, They're the same. They're exactly the same. My class and his. He's got Blast Suppressor as well as Scavenger. That's exactly what I have on my class as well. You need Scavenger on the M1 irons if you're running them Akimbo, ladies and gentlemen. Keep that in mind. You will need Scavenger on these things. If you plan on going on any kind of a kill streak, like if you plan on going on more than like a 5 kill streak, you're definitely going to need these, man. You're going to need Scavenger. You're going to be running out of bullets because you're just going to be spraying constantly. You're going to be firing shells just everywhere. So be sure to grab Scavenger. And Blast Suppressor, I've talked about it before. I made a whole video on it. In my opinion, it is the best perk in the game, so be sure to go ahead and check it out. In terms of kill streaks, we're just using UAV and system hack, right? It's a pretty standard kill streak set. For people that are trying to get DNA bombs, trying to get high gun streaks, those are your standard kill streaks that you're going to run. You're going to run the UAV so you can find out where your opposing team is, and you're going to run the system hack so you can make it so they can't use their HUD, and you can also hear them a little bit because their exosuits are getting shut off and stuff like that. So you definitely want to have both of those on your class if you plan on trying to go on some high kill streaks. On just about every one of the gameplays that you see from me, I'm using UAV and system hack. If not, at least I'm using UAV. It's on every single one of my classes because it's the most beneficial kill streaks for you and your team, right? Always keep that in mind. How can you benefit yourself? How can you benefit your team at the same time when you're playing Call of Duty? And you can do so by just doing something as simple as running a UAV. But right there, we actually pick up the DNA bomb. Ladies and gentlemen, how awesome was that? A DNA bomb running around the M1 Iron Akimbos and just doing ridiculously well, man. It's straight up Old West shooter style. I hope, I like to think anyway, that he has the cowboy hat and the cowboy boots, right? From, I think, yeah, supply drops. I'm hoping he has those on in this gameplay. I actually got both of those in my advanced supply drop opening video. So I'm thinking about just wearing those, like having a custom outfit where I kind of look like a cowboy whenever I'm specifically running around with this particular weapon. I just think that'd be something that would be pretty funny to do. Just run around with a cowboy hat on, running around my dual pistols and just going after people. I actually got some cool variants of the M1 irons as well from my advanced supply drop opening video as well. So definitely gonna be trying that out here in the relatively near future. But there we go, a final score of 53 kills and 3 deaths. Ladies and gentlemen, look at that score line running around with what are essentially dual magnums, man. That's pretty awesome. Of course, they're the most powerful magnums we've seen. These things are ridiculously powerful, but still, that's an awesome gameplay running around with a brand new weapon, especially when they're essentially just dual pistols, right? It's pretty cool. So hopefully you guys all enjoyed this episode of DNA Saturday, and if you did, please be sure to leave a rating where you guys feel via deserves. If you guys would like to submit your DNA bombs for next week's episode of DNA Saturday, simply watch the video that's on your screen right now. You can click the annotation, or you can click the link to it down in the video description. Either way, if you have any ambition whatsoever of submitting your stuff for DNA Saturday, go ahead and check out that video. If you guys would like to go ahead and check out Mr. Omega Gaming, you can find him over at youtube.com/evilunites with a Z at the end, not an S, but a Z at the end there. He's a returning guest here on my YouTube channel, and he primarily posts Call of Duty content, including DNA bombs, news coverage, specific gameplay showing off, for example, different weapons that come out, like the SAC 1.5s, as well as the M1 irons, and DNA bombs with the M1 irons, like what you saw here, as well as he has a weekly shoutout series, and he just likes to post great gameplay in general. He's one of those YouTube channels, man. He primarily posts Call of Duty content, and he's got a lot of it for you to check out. So go ahead and give him a look. He actually has just under 600 subscribers at the time of this video being recorded, so hopefully we can get him up past that. He's just inching ever closer up there to 1,000 subscribers, which definitely sounds nice. So once again, if you guys want to check him out, you can find him over at youtube.com/evilunites. There's an annotation on your screen, as well as a link to his channel down in the video description. Many ways for you to find him. Just go ahead and give him a look, because you never know. You never know until you try whether or not a channel is right for you. And perhaps he has a channel for you. Perhaps it's a channel you would enjoy. So go ahead and give him a look. I hope you guys all enjoyed this week's episodes of DNA Saturday. And if you did, please be sure to leave a rating. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day.